The revolution will not be televised, and be no rerun, brothers and sisters. The revolution will be live.
What's up, y'all, and welcome to DEI Diaries with me, EP. Now let's get straight to business. As I don't know if y'all heard or not, but DEI programs, initiatives, and scholarships are being removed at such alarming rates. I'm talking faster than a greased pig going down a water slide. So a good example of this is something that just happened just recently. Over 130 scholarships have been placed on hold or paused or modified in the state of Texas due to the DEI ban. And y'all, even memorial scholarships are amongst those being affected by the Senate Bill 17. Now, the Senate Bill 17 is basically the law that says, hey, any program that is designed for students of a specific gender or a specific race should not be allowed at public universities in Texas. So you know me, I had to do some digging just to see what schools are being impacted by this bill. And one of the schools that really stood out to me was Texas A&M University. And the reason why that specific school, amongst a lot of others, stood out to me was because of the specific history that Texas A&M has. Texas A&M was founded in 1876 as an all-male military college. Now let's take a look deeper into their history, shall we? Moving on. The first woman to attend A&M wasn't until around 1895, and although she attended classes, she was not officially enrolled yet. In 1925, the first woman was awarded an undergraduate degree. Now let's go a little bit deeper. In 1963, Leroy Sterling was one of the first African American students who enrolled into Texas A&M. And yes, you heard me right, 1963. And mind you, Texas A&M University, as well as other colleges, are still having their very first till this day. I'm talking the very first Hispanic student body president, the first woman-based drummer, and need I go on? Like, really? Now, people might be saying, well, EP, what does this have to do with me? And I'm glad you asked. Because DEI isn't just in our schools and universities. It's at our jobs and work environments, in our healthcare, in our banking systems, in religious organizations, in our personal relationships, in our families. DEI is pretty much everywhere. And I know, I'm going to get those people who are going to make the argument that, hey, the removal of DEI is a good thing because we want equality. We only want the best of the best to be in these spaces. We only want who's qualified. But after going through the history of Texas A&M University, which has a very similar history to other industries across America, we see that the standard was never rooted in equality. The standard wasn't even ever rooted in excellence, if we want to be real. The foundation has always been rooted in keeping people out. And if we aren't mindful, the gap is only going to continue to get bigger and bigger. There are still conversations happening around the accessibility of college campuses for students with disabilities. You cannot have equality without equity. You cannot have equality without DEI programs, initiatives, resources, departments, and funding. And in the wise words of Anthony Jack,
access ain't inclusion.
Just because a group of people may have access to an institution or an environment does not mean that it's inclusive. There are plenty of people from different backgrounds who are walking into environments, and that same environment is screaming that they don't belong. Now, the people in the environment may not be verbally saying that those people do not belong, but the microaggressions are saying that. The walking into the room and being the only black, brown, or person of color in the entire class is saying that. The lack of resources and working handicap buttons is also saying that. The lack of resources for older students is also saying that. The lack of funding that goes to multicultural organizations is saying that too. So you don't have to say it. You don't have to say it because trust. Trust. The environment is. In conclusion, brothers and sisters, you do not need to be directly affected by the removal of DEI initiatives, programs, and funding in order to care. Because if you wait until you are affected by it, you're too late. You're done. You're over. Which is why we have to pay attention now. So, thank you for tuning in and do what you will with that information. Until next time.
Subscribe.
What's up, y'all? Ooh, that was country. Let's do that again. Yourself. Be yourself. But after going through the history of Texas A&M, but after going inaccessibility, is that how you say it? But after going, what did I say? Let me go ahead and